Top 8 reasons why Immigration New Zealand visa officer is interested in your personal bank accounts. Number 1. Migrants sharing funds with their friends and flatmates. If you have been a migrant in New Zealand, there are chances that you have lived in a flat. And this is a common trend among migrants to transfer money from one account to another, to ask a friend to buy groceries on your behalf and transfer money into their account, and then receive money from someone else, and you bought a phone for them, or maybe they need to buy a car, so they transfer you funds. This is a common trap which many migrants fall into. Once it has been few years, you can't actually remember what was this transaction for. And suddenly you have to answer Immigration New Zealand, why did you transfer $500 to this person? Or where does this money come from? So accumulated total could be in thousands, hundreds, and you have to then justify where this money is coming from. Often at times these people may have left New Zealand, so you may not be able to even get in touch with them. And this becomes a problem when you apply for a visa. Number 2. Helping a friend out to show funds for their visa application. Have you ever encountered a scenario where somebody has asked you, oh, I need to apply for my visa and I need to show funds. I'll return it to you once I get my visa. Does this sound familiar? Have you asked somebody else to help you out for a visa? If you have been involved in any of these roles, chances are you could be in trouble when you apply for your work visa or residence visa application. Your visa officer is likely to ask you for accounts of these transactions, and you may not be able to say, hey, I just helped my friend out so that he could get a visa, because is that really legal? Or you couldn't say, oh, I just asked my friend to lend me some money so that I could get a visa. Effectively, if you do say so, then technically you have provided misleading information to Immigration New Zealand. You claimed that you have genuine access to those funds, and you use that access to get a work visa. Now you are telling immigration, well, that access to that money wasn't quite genuine. I just borrowed money so that I could get away with the requirements and get a work visa. You are going to be in deep trouble. Number 3, sending money overseas by using unregistered money transfer agents. This is really serious and dangerous. Possibly you could be caught into money laundering rackets. Immigration New Zealand may be interested in finding out who is it whom you are transferring money, and sometimes some migrants may be transferring large amount of money, for example $5,000, $10,000, so that they can transfer this money overseas. Now at the time when you apply for a further visa, you may not even be able to track this person whose account it was, and you may have been told of a bank account by a third party. Somebody in India or somebody in China may have told you, hey, transfer your amount in this account and we will give the money to your family in India or your family in China. Now, if you apply for a work visa and Immigration New Zealand is interested in this particular transaction, you will have no way to justify where this money has gone. What have you done with this money? You may not have even any receipts, or you cannot prove any communication transactions. Immigration New Zealand is likely to then suspect that possibly you have paid this amount to either secure an employment or a job offer, or possibly you have paid this money to an agent of your employer in lieu of getting a salary increase. With the recent changes in immigration policies, a lot of migrants are looking at getting a higher salary so that they can get a 3-year work visa, or if they are eligible to apply for residence, so that they can apply for skilled migrant residence. This is a serious concern for Immigration New Zealand, where migrants are claiming that they are getting paid a lot higher than they actually are. And you would be in this situation challenged with the fact that perhaps you have made this transaction to facilitate a job offer or a higher salary. Number 4, if you have frequent bank transactions in a city other than the city mentioned on your visa label, then it is likely that Immigration New Zealand will pick it up and ask you if you have been in breach of your visa conditions. This is particularly relevant to you if your visa is geographical location dependent. Number 5, Lower than usual transactions. Your spending pattern has decreased, so suddenly you have stopped spending. This could indicate that perhaps you have started working somewhere where you are receiving cash payments, and these could be undisclosed cash payments. This poses a risk for you. If visa officer can argue that because your spending has reduced, there are chances to believe that you may be working without disclosing where you have been working outside of your allowed visa conditions, then this could be a serious problem for you. Number 6, higher than usual spend. On the other hand, if you have been spending a lot more than what you have been for last 3 or 4 years, then there is a reason to believe that perhaps when you go to your grocery store, you ask for cash out, and you are accumulating that cash to pay to an employer so that you could have acquired a suitable job offer or a higher salary. Number 7, inconsistent income as compared to your IRD summary of earnings. Immigration New Zealand is also interested to find out if you have been earning as per your IRD records. For example, your IRD records could show that you have been earning $60,000 a year, whereas in your bank you're only receiving around $35,000 a year. So this would mean that your employer may not be paying you as they are claiming. Number 8, being on a work visa but not in an active employment. This is quite a common scenario where many migrants are granted a work visa to work for a particular employer, but they lose that employment, and legally they have to inform Immigration New Zealand as soon as that happens, so that they can find some time to find a new employment or apply for a further visa. But many migrants do not inform Immigration New Zealand, and they simply choose to remain in New Zealand. Your bank statements are going to reveal if this was the case at any point of time throughout your stay in New Zealand. So what's my advice? It's always better to be safe than sorry. I would